Hey, crypto heads! It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal show. We're back.
Okay.
Not that we really went anywhere, but we're here.
Here we are. Same time
We're here a little
every
bit
week.
late. Yep, we're here a little bit late. That was my fault. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I just sharing my excitement. I had my first meeting as part of the promotions committee with the Stowe Players, the local community theater. I'm excited about that. So I'm gonna be
Ooh.
helping them with their social media stuff and possibly like starting a YouTube channel and a TikTok page for them and working on that kind of stuff. So
Very
I'm
cool.
excited. Excuse me, need to take a swig of the coffee. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's it. We're here, 8:30.
Nice.
Hopefully everybody's doing okay. How are you guys doing?
You got a what?
What'd you say, Mike?
I said it sounds like a lot of shit that I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, right?
Or should I say Denise, because you have Denise's name on your
Nice.
I don't know what's going on, man.
I didn't even notice that.
Technology is not his friend at the moment. But yeah,
I
so
didn't
here.
even do anything different.
You have to change your name when you first log in.
Yeah.
I did.
It does the same thing to
It
me
said
every once in a while.
the goo.
Yeah,
I changed
so
it
did
to
mine. And then I
Heisenberg,
changed it
my
Denise.
name.
Huh.
What are you gonna do?
So
how is everybody doing? You guys been crazy?
yes. Crazy busy, but in such a good way.
Good. That's
Can't
good.
complain.
Good.
My kids are off school, apparently. I had no idea.
Oh.
Their last day is supposed to be tomorrow, and we got an email from the school saying tomorrow's optional. And of course they don't want to go.
Well,
Why
yeah,
would
why
they?
would you?
Yeah.
My daughters are only going like next Tuesday or Monday and Tuesday. I don't know why.
Yeah. Just let them stay
They're
home.
doing Monday and Tuesday. Just end it tomorrow.
Be done. Yeah.
Yeah. They're actually at commencement right now because they're playing with the band. They're in the commencement band, so. And Stowe has an extremely large graduating class.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I have an extremely large senior class, so they are playing the procession for a very, very long time as they march out. But
that's annoying.
Yeah,
I think mine was like 1,200 people in my graduating class. It was stupid. It took forever.
1,200 people?
Yeah.
You graduated from where?
Mentor.
Okay.
Mentor for people not in the area.
Well, out in Manaway, also known as Mantua or Mantua.
Yeah. How do you actually say that?
I think it's Mantua, like how they said it in Romeo and Juliet, because that's what it's named after.
Such a good movie.
But yeah, all of us townies call it Manaway. Just Manaway. There's no T in it either. It's like Manaway. Manaway. But yeah, there was like 98 people in my graduating class.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Crestwood is a small school. It's a lot bigger than it used to be, but yeah. So anyways, Heisenberg fell off again. He's having some kind of connection issues.
I don't know what's going on with him.
We didn't need to message him and just tell him to try with his phone. But
it also is not working on the Facebook page. Like I tried to click on it and it was
really?
It said video cannot load or whatever.
All right, so go ahead and let me check. Well, you could go ahead and talk for a second. Let me see what's going on.
Oh, I don't want to just talk. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It said that it was connection issues, so that I figured that it was my connection.
Maybe because that's Facebook. We're on there now. So I don't know.
Yeah, but when I
don't see it. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I got to put him back on.
Let's see. See how it says. Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. Learn more.
Are you trying to play a video?
I'm trying to open our video.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on.
To blah 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 blah.
How like that, man. It even says at the top, blah 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 has joined.
Right. Oh my gosh.
All right, he's falling off again.
I
So
can't.
knowing Heisenberg, he's probably just going to give up and say that's it for the night. But
Right.
I don't blame him. So,
He's a-
anyways,
he's
I
a
was hoping that
two-strike-
he'd.
He's a
What's
two-strike
that?
kind of guy. Like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
don't even
blame
do a
him.
third
It's
strike. Like,
right.
I'm
I don't
done.
blame him. I couldn't do it.
I get so annoyed
After
with technology,
I hate it.
especially because it's 2025, bro. Why are we still having? Why do I still drop calls on my cell phone? Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, I was hoping he would be on here to help me kind of talk about what we've been talking about for a couple weeks. We
Oh
got this tomorrow
yeah.
night, the Haunted Theater Tour at the Kent Stage. Gonna be super fun. Heisenberg and I will be there. Actually, Tina Frick's gonna come hang out with us too.
Nice.
So she comes since she's kind of gonna replace you. She's not on the show, but she's one of our
Yeah.
dearest friends, and she's a member of our team, and she has history
It's
there.
an acceptable replacement.
Hey, Leilani.
I approve.
Yeah. So she has experiences there. She was actually friends with the guy who lived in the apartment above the theater. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I think
Nice.
so. I kind of feel it. She said energy disturbance.
I feel like
I'm feeling
everything
it.
has just been out of whack for like 2
Yeah.
days.
I do know like the geomagnetic crap is off the charts because we're supposed to be able to
Mhm.
see the northern lights again this weekend.
See, why does that happen? That's not normal. Why is it
No,
like
it's been a lot. Like you
it's
go from
supposed to
not
be like
seeing it for years.
you don't ever. I'm 42
Yeah.
years old. That's never been a thing. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be like a once in a lifetime thing if you travel super far and
Mhm.
go, you know what I mean? But like 6 times in the last year, it's
Yeah, it's
visible.
nuts.
Freaking weird.
Yeah, it's
It's just
strange.
It's not the Northern Lights. No way.
Maybe this is the paradigm shift that I keep hearing my psychic friends talking about. I don't know.
Telling you what.
Well, you know, and did you guys? I mean, did you see the news today or like yesterday?
What?
Freaking huge glacial break in the Alps, like
Yeah.
destroyed 90% of a town with a flood.
And
So
they're
it's-
talking
it's-
about there's a mile-wide volcano in the ocean that is going to erupt and send out 10,000 earthquakes. They don't know how big they're going to be, but they know it'll happen in June or July. Okay.
Well, yeah, and then of course, if it's in the ocean, you're not only worrying about earthquakes, you're worrying about what happens in the water with
Right.
earthquakes, tsunamis.
Right.
I mean, it's nuts.
I could get behind portals.
Yeah,
I believe it. And then with all the stuff that like CERN has been doing and all the coincidences that like align with that,
Right.
like
yeah.
I don't know. It's just I feel like
A lot of heavy geomagnetic storms. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just the whole, like Lalani said, it's the whole thing is just out of whack.
And
You
then,
could
like-
feel it if you're sensitive to it.
yes, I have just been out of whack for I don't know. I say a couple days,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's been a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm having waves of like high energy, like more than normal.
Yeah.
Like today, I feel like I'm wired, like I could just jump off
Yeah.
the walls. And some of that's just I've been drinking caffeine nonstop all day. But
But don't you do that every day?
yeah, I mean it's no different than
Right.
any other day. So like, why is it different today than it was yesterday when I could barely stay awake?
I'll
Leilani
figure out
says,
how to
I
get it to you.
predicted the volcano. I need the link. That's a confirmation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, Chester, my band parent buddy.
Chester. We were just talking about you guys.
Is
Is that the band
the
that you're
Earth?
going to be working with?
Oh yeah. Yep. Is
Yeah.
that the earthquake in the Pacific?
Yeah. Well, there's a volcano
Right.
and it's going to cause 10,000. They're saying 10,000
Yeah.
earthquakes.
So, and the people that don't want to that don't want to believe in climate or global warming, there's your proof right there. I mean, glaciers are breaking and melting and destroying. That's just the tip. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Which is also melting and going to destroy the planet.
Absolutely.
I'm so sick of living through all these like crazy things. Like every day it's something new.
There he is. Let's try it again. It's third time the charm.
I
Hopefully.
restarted my computer and everything, so it better work. That's
It's
the
a
thing
lot
to do,
better.
right?
Yeah, it's a lot better. You're like, your voice is going along with the video. Everything is good. Good to have you.
Cool.
But yeah, we were kind of being a downer talking about the world ending, so it's probably good that you showed back up.
857 different ways.
Right.
Yes.
We're just.
No, you know how it ends.
How's it end?
Yeah, I think I had to have heard it. We progressed to extinction.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
If I didn't hear that, I made it up the other night.
Okay. I could see that.
No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm worried about with all the progression that's happening.
Yeah. I think that we need to take a step back and
we think it's this miracle technology and all this great stuff that we're doing, but it's
and I think that's what it could go like this. You could think about it in either religious way or God or the other way, but that there are alien life out there, but they're all like us. And the most intelligent ones are the ones that don't progress themselves out of extinction.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you believe in that maybe the aliens are the future us coming back to tell us that we're...
No. I think there's just different worlds going on right now, and whoever lives is the smart ones.
Yeah.
So we're like on Earth Prime, and like Earth X is...
But not
even there's different planets out there. It doesn't have to be like, sure, Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3.
They're like Earth. They don't have to be exactly Earth, but you know what I mean.
No, they are. We're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're everything the same. The most intelligent life is the one that doesn't progress to extinction.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could totally see that. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah, Lilani said it doesn't end. It's the actual beginning. I think.
Yeah, I don't buy into that.
I love her. No. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but like my whole life, I've always thought that like something crazy was going to happen and it was going to be super bad for a little while. But then after that, it was going to be the most beautiful, magical thing we've ever experienced in our entire lives. Yeah. I think that it's something that's like necessary. I feel like it has to be something big. Right. I'm not saying like big, like dangerous necessarily.
Right.
Needs to be different.
Yeah, we have to just like everything. You kind of have to hit rock bottom before you can pick yourself back up and recharge and restart.
And it'll be like growing pains for a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of people who are, they call them like star seeds, who are put here to like, they already get it. And they know what it's going to be so that when everybody else catches up, they could be like, come here, I'll tell you what's going on, you know, and just kind of fill them in, because it's going to be something that's like super scary for a lot of people.
That's bullshit. That is totally bullshit. If they're here and they know it, they should be telling us, unless they want to die.
They do. And then they get called crazy conspiracy theorists.
You said they wait until you come, like you
because
to this different level of
right now
something bad's gonna happen. They know it's gonna happen.
And they tell people all the time. And they get labeled as crazy conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one day people are going to be like, oh, maybe I should listen to that crazy girl.
I'm just not sure which one, because we already have a new pope.
Yeah. And there wasn't supposed to be another one. There wasn't supposed to be another one.
Yeah, there wasn't supposed to be, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm so confused now after that debate. I have no idea where I'm even at. Like, what? Just say it's science. That's what I'm used to. That's what I'm used to Heisenberg just saying. It's science.
Whenever
but I don't really have any basis in science.
Right.
Whenever
Are you
it
admitting
gets
that?
to a point,
my science is 100% made up in my head.
I mean, it works sometimes, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's okay.
But I always get the logic behind what you say.
Well, of course you do.
Darren, you're cool. We actually just started.
We just started, Darren.
Too.
Yeah.
I had a meeting, so I was late.
It's all right.
But
they're already yelling at me.
Listen.
They didn't do anything.
So when it gets to
here,
a point,
like just being all innocent, and they're like just all of a sudden just start blasting me with shit.
Ooh. This is creepy.
Yeah, Leilani said she predicted the death of Pope Francis. Day later, boom, his death opened the seals.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, is that what happened?
So weird. I love
That would
it.
make sense if there's an American Pope, because we're gonna fuck everything up.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense now.
I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think any of that is real. Like it cannot
Like
be
made
real.
in America shit is crappy, so we just screwed up the
Right.
whole freaking Catholic religion.
I don't know.
Well, we've
That's
been
Says poor Heisenberg.
For a different day.
see?
But so I'm just letting you guys know, and Darren and everybody who's watching, when it gets to a point where you're super scared, have no idea what's going on, just find your favorite tinfoil hat wearing friend and ask them what the hell's going on, and they'll fill you in.
Exactly. They know
Okay.
what they got it. They got a beat on the reality.
Yeah, they'll be like,
they have
this is supposed to happen. They're like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, this.
Points like this.
But what's going on? You see it all around you, this
Yeah, right.
and that.
Yep. Yep. Oh gosh, really? I thought he was from Chicago.
That's what I thought too, but I mean, I think he worked in Chicago. I'm not sure if he's
Or maybe he was
originally
born there or
from,
something.
Yeah.
Who did?
The Pope.
Yeah, he was definitely something from Chicago.
I know he also spent a lot of time in Peru, I believe.
Yeah, but he's like, they have a thing at him at like one of the White Sox or whatever stadiums.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've already seen the memes with him and like the guys from SNL, the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
They actually kind of need him, so I don't think
That was
that's
so
that bad of a thing to have in their stadiums and shit.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
helping.
actually probably a
obviously.
pretty smart thing to do, actually, if I was a Chicago White Sox person.
Right. What is going on here? Oh, sorry. I'm going to put that out. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Wild Times. Northern Lights. Northern Lights. Go look at it.
That's all. This is how it started. Northern Lights.
I think so.
Yeah. Talking about how the energy, like we talked about the Northern Lights, and then we talked about how energy's been feeling weird, and
Yeah.
then we just got into the whole shit show rabbit hole of what the hell's
See,
happening.
I feel energy has been feeling good.
Well, it's like for me, I've been saying it's like up and down. Like today, I feel great. I'm in like high level energy, and
I thought it was just because I started taking new supplements, but my
Yeah.
energy was definitely way higher today.
I think a lot of it too. I mean, for me, it has been the horrible weather we've been having. Definitely, like the cold rain to like today, where it's like 70 degrees and sunny.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's just yeah. She says, "Ask the universe to filter confirmations. It'll give you the
what?
cluck." Oh, she was saying the cluck you up. Beautiful truth. You can say fuck. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're not on TikTok anymore. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
You can
we got
smoke,
kicked off
do
of
whatever you
TikTok because we say whatever we want.
I can't get us back on, so I have no idea what's going on. It's way past.
Well, maybe you should watch them out.
You guys don't even know how proud that makes me.
I know.
You got to
It
skip
was
off
cool.
TikTok, bro.
It was cool to be live on TikTok, but it's too much.
Yeah,
Too much,
I mean,
man.
until you could be on it like we're doing now, and we can actually see the chat on the same screen and everything's integrated.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Did we say hi to Rochelle?
Rochelle, no, we didn't. Speaking of Rochelle, and I had already mentioned this, but now that Heisenberg is back, it feels better.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it up there one more time. This Friday, actually tomorrow night, the Haunted Theater Tour at the Kent Stage. Super in love with this place. I always have been. We've been there since the Paranormal weekends started. Been there for a couple more events. I've had the luck of being able to do some ghost hunting there. Heisenberg was with me on one such adventure. We did a ghost hunt right after.
I've never even seen the backstage, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so there's the places that because when you were with me, we're kind of stuck out in.
I
that,
always
that
get
basement.
They put me someplace over in the side. I never get to go anywhere.
But it was cool because like we had Jim Harold in our group, who's like,
I loved it.
Guests.
I loved it. It's just I'm excited, hopefully, to go backstage this time. Like even Kate was like, "You haven't been back there?" I was like,
"Yeah,
no."
So, like I said, Rochelle's on. She's the owner.
Yeah.
If you're interested, like if you're watching and you're local, or even if you're not local and you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, come out to the Kent Stage. KentStage.org is where you get your tickets. But there's going to be a bunch of staff members that are going to be telling their ghost stories. I'm going to be telling some of my ghost stories. Rochelle will be there. And then we're kind of do the tour. And we're going to hear some of that kind of stuff. And probably, I'm sure, a lot of the history, because the place is a huge part of Kent history. And yeah, I'm bringing a couple, ghost honey type things, equipment pieces. Not a whole lot, just probably my spirit box and the crystal pod.
Nice.
But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a little bit of ghost hunting. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm so excited for you guys to go back. You guys talk about that place all the time.
Yeah. I want to thank Rochelle. She's still watching. For inviting us.
Well, after your 10-minute diatribe of just random information, what I really want to talk about are why theater's haunted, because that's what I saw on the freaking thing.
We're not talking about that.
I know. I saw your little advertisement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Thanks, yes.
Go ahead, talk whichever you have to talk about then.
Yep. But yeah. Anyways. It's going to be a good time. I think the doors open at 7. Start showing up at 7:15. I'm probably going to be hightailing my ass straight from work there. So, Rochelle, I'm hoping to get there.
What time do they open?
The doors open at 7. I want to try to be there no later than 6:30, but it depends on how work goes, because we only have 3 guys tomorrow, and I'm going to be way up in the west side of Cleveland. So, I'm going to.
I thought I said it started at 5.
Oh, well, you would have been
Rochelle,
early.
if you're on, do you want to give us the time? Because I'm pretty sure we started at 5 when Dustin Parr was there just to set up.
Right.
But we're not. Theaters have so much energy. Yes. Both from people and electric.
I'll wait until she answers. Oh my gosh. That's real. Annabelle really is missing.
No, it was a big hoax.
Oh, okay.
She didn't, yeah, I don't know how it starts, the TikTok thing and the social media thing.
Well, it started
they
because
show
it was
her
in
moving
New
around.
Orleans, and then a giant plantation burned down, and all this chaos happened there. And
yeah, you're right. Doors open at 7 o'clock.
Yep. Doors at 7, event at 7:30.
So you should probably be there at 6:30, Heisenberg.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. And Heisenberg probably didn't hear this. Tina Frick will be there with us too, kind of hopping in to kind of fill in Denise's spot, since Denise can't be there, but she'll be there in spirit.
Of course.
I know she. Yeah, she'll be in
spirit. Yeah, my wife Kate will be there too.
Oh, Kate's coming
really?
Too?
Cool. Sweet.
I told you that.
You did? I didn't know that. Okay, that's cool.
I told you that at Mansfield. You said you were bringing Tina. I said, yeah, I'm bringing Kate.
Okay. Tina's meeting us there, so she'll be there. She's actually, I told Denise earlier, she's familiar. She one of her friends actually lived in the apartment that was above the theater and had experiences in his apartment. So she'll. I'm
a little concerned that how much you don't listen to me.
I have ADHD, dude. What do you? I got to write everything.
You do
down.
not have ADHD.
Okay.
Heisenberg and I are like, no.
I think Heisenberg's having technical difficulties.
Maybe
again.
You have a touch. Leilani said that Annabelle's your friend.
No such thing as a doll ever being my friend. Speaking of which, I was trying to download that wonderful picture of Heisenberg holding Benny like his own baby.
Oh, that was so cute.
Right?
Did you read that?
We have Wall's School film premiere before the Haunted Theater tour, so we are scheduled in for 7 p.m. doors. Okay,
cool.
Awesome.
So, where was it? Let's go back to her comment about the energy. Oh, theaters have so much energy from people and the electric.
Oh, sure.
Obviously, there's lights and sound systems and all that stuff. But I personally think that theaters are just like lighthouses in terms of those people put their entire lives into that. Is every waking moment. They're thinking about it, they're living there, they're, working there, whatever. So I think that's where the energy comes from.
Love you too, Leilani. Thank you. Yeah, I believe so.
You know what? I think it's fueled. I was thinking about this today. It's fueled by the energy of especially still working theaters, are fueled by the energy of the people that come in there as well.
Yeah.
From that path.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions if you're watching a play or a musical or even just a movie, which I mean, the theater has been all of those things. So,
right.
I remember going to see, what was it? Follow That Bird, a Sesame Street movie.
My
That came out.
God.
Yeah. Me and my brother were still little kids. We went there and watched that. That was back in the day, obviously.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. So it's been so many things. And I love theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Painesville Train Depot, which was a really cool place. I mean, think of all that energy coming in and out. People happy to see each other. People sad that somebody's going. You know, pulling dead. I mean, they used to bring dead bodies in on trains. I mean, just all kinds of crazy stuff. So there's a lot more to it than prisons and hospitals and asylums and that type of thing. But theaters are fun, and the Kent Stage. I have some stories, and I'm excited.
Rochelle said that's a great memory.
That is a great memory. Yep. So
it's also a great.
It is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They used to be like the local, everybody calls the cheapy theater, which is like the discount theater that, like, instead of going to like the big megaplex, or whatever, or that was the place you go. They only had the one screen, and
Darren sent it to you. I could find it though.
Darren.
Oh. That's funny, dude.
That was fun though. I love how we just sent it to Heisenberg and we just handed him to him, and he just like, whatever. You could tell he's a dad.
Right.
Here. I think I might have already saved it.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a funny picture. The one I was going to post was a different one, but yeah, there it is. Aww. Uncle Heisenberg with his little nephew Benny, not Goose. That's me over next to him.
Benny and the Jets.
I put mine up too.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Benny.
And I'm looking the other way.
Love it.
Cute stuff, and he's even smiling, so he was enjoying it.
Yeah,
he was enjoying it.
He loves you, Uncle Mike.
Yep, that's what I could feel it. That's what made me all happy. I was like,
"Oh,
feel your energy, Benny."
Okay, Rochelle.
And the Jets.
There were 2 screens. There were 2 screens at the theater. I thought I remembered that, but I just remember like one theater. But I mean, I was a little kid. I mean, that was a long time ago.
I went there, and it had to be after '93, so I don't know what it was then. Yeah. Because I went there when I was in college.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I thought I saw something there. I know the record store was right next to it.
Oh, Spinmore? Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, I used to go to Spinmore all the time.
Yeah, me too. That's where I bought it in
Utero. What a great name for a record store.
Yeah, it was a cool store too. It was like, it's like the kind like you see in the movies all the time that you just like would want to go and hang out at. It's like that kind of place.
And you like
chill and laid back.
Scroll through all the crates.
I bought my In Utero CD there.
Nice.
You were able to listen to those too there, weren't you? Didn't they have a listening booth or something where you could like?
I couldn't remember if you could there or not.
Preview the audio. I don't know, but it was pretty cool.
I don't know.
It was a cool.
I just remember it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it coming from Port Clinton.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely one of a kind. It wasn't like there was really no other album stores like that. When we were adults and able to like get out and like go to Kent and do that kind of thing.
But, yeah, I think Port Clinton has a cool looking theater with a great marquee and stuff, but I think it's a plumbing place.
Oh, nice. I know the one in Highland Square is still operating as a movie theater.
Yeah, I went and saw the Avengers. I go see that movies there.
Oh, do you?
They're great.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's like $5 or something like that.
Yeah, it's super cheap, but it's like 1 or 2 theaters there too. So it was
There's a bar there too. If you really wanted.
Oh,
one.
nice, sweet, cool.
I want to investigate that place.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I still want to try to get us into Jilly's Music Hall in Akron. It's an old music venue, but they serve. I mean, it's like a diner. Like they serve food. It's a restaurant too, but they have live bands there. And I've seen other videos of other groups that have been there, and they've had some pretty cool stuff happen. A lot of activity and experiences. So, hopefully, it's one of my goals to get in there.
Yeah, I wanted to. I actually just talked to a friend of mine who works at a local college, and I was talking to her about, she was talking about funding because she's like super high up at the school now. And I was just telling her, like, listen, if you ever need funding for something, let me run some ghost hunts there,
Yeah.
So
definitely.
If you know of a location that is not, on the mainstream right now,
Yeah.
and you think that they could benefit from something like that, let us know. We can help you figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, that one night we did a public ghost hunting event at the Shalersville Historical Society.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 of them in one night, and we split it up, and we sold out both times. So, I mean, and it was enough money for them to buy cement for the foundation of the cabin. So it was pretty sweet.
That's what I'm talking about. And it's nice too, because the people who do paranormal investigations, they care about history, and they care
Most
about
of them,
buildings,
absolutely.
So it's not like you're inviting a bunch of teenagers with Kansas spray paint in there, it's people who care about the building. So yeah. So if you own a building like that, or, somebody who owns a historical building and they need some quick cash, tell them to look into it.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Look what I can do now.
Oh, nice. No.
Uh-oh.
We're in trouble.
We're all going to be like putting up the same one because I can't, like, my itchy finger, my trigger finger goes.
What else can I do?
Oh, no.
Maybe it was a bad idea.
Maybe we shouldn't have given him the login.
Just kidding. No, it's gonna work out nicely.
It'll be fine.
So yeah.
What happened? What's add scene?
That I don't know. That would change everything that we have set up right now.
I'm not touching it. I just wanted to see what was up there. I just realized I can see the chat now.
Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it?
And put the comments up there at the bottom.
I'm not really gonna mess with that. It's just funny that I can see the chat now. I can only see it when you guys put it up.
That's crazy.
Before.
It's time for the Roscoe Show.
Here it is.
I swear he comes down like clockwork too.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Yeah, because normally we're wrapping up, and that's usually when he's coming down. Yeah. Right. But before we do wrap up, we have the weekly What the F. And Denise is up tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play the audio.
Okay.
And maybe Heisenberg, now that maybe he'll hear it now. If not,
I don't know.
We do. So that's all that matters. And I have it turned all the way up, so it's pumping. So anyways, Denise is up this week with the weekly What the F.
Is it still playing?
Yes.
No, it's done.
It's done now.
You don't hear it?
That's so wild.
I don't.
Well, anyways, we heard it, and hopefully the audience has heard it. So what do you got for us this week, Denise?
I actually was super thankful that we were running late this week, because I was also running late. If it wasn't for the last minute, I have no time at all. So one of my favorite things to research is old medical stuff,
cool.
Things that they used to do. Obviously in lobotomies, people talk about that kind of stuff all the time, but so I had ChatGPT write this, but throughout history, medicine has always straddled a fine line between healing and harm. What we accept as safe and effective today often stands in stark contrast to practices from the past. from the 1800s to even just a few decades ago, people willingly submitted to treatments that, by medical standards, sound more like torture than therapy. But at the time, these methods were not only accepted, they were celebrated. Okay, I got pictures. I brought receipts this week. In the early 19th century, a toothache didn't just send you to the dentist with a gentle hand and numbing agents. They didn't have like Novocaine and stuff. What they would do is they would use these. This is called a tooth key. Okay. So they would take this, basically stand above you, put it over your tooth and twist it.
And
God,
like, no,
right?
Oh,
that was a treatment. Like 90% of the time, it would end up just like cracking your tooth or breaking your jaw, just to get that rotten tooth out. And that was a treatment. And people would like rush to the dentist to get that done. Another one.
My mouth rot out.
Right. Thank you. One of my all-time favorites, which actually I think there's a Netflix series on 2 of these things that I'm going to talk about, but in the turn of the 20th century, female hysteria was a catch-all diagnosis for symptoms like anxiety, insomnia, sexual frustration, basically anything that didn't like fit the mold of a demure Victorian woman. So they basically came out with toys, but from the doctor. I'll show you a picture so you catch on to what I'm talking about. These women would go to the doctor to get these treatments, and that was a magical cure for hysteria and for mania, and basically anything that any ailment that a woman had, they would send her to the doctor for these treatments. And it obviously led to in-home treatments that are now celebrated with pure romance parties and things like that.
Right. I mean, you can get that shit at Walgreens and CVS.
Right, you can find on Amazon. Whatever.
Right. I was like totally thrown back the other day when I was in CVS and I looked over. I'm like,
yeah,
are you fucking kidding me?
But this was seriously a doctors would do this. That would be their job for the day, and women would just like line up outside the doctor's office for these treatments. And
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, right. And also this was invented way before vacuum cleaners even. So let's just put that into perspective. This was long time ago.
So we made things way more perverted before we made them way more convenient.
So I'm pretty sure that there is a Netflix series on that though.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Another one that I think is crazy that they thought was like a miracle cure was freaking radium. So they basically would intentionally make water radioactive. Okay. There's that.
I've heard, yeah.
Certified radioactive water. And they would use this literally for everything. Okay. So that bottle, it's laced with radium salts. It was marketed as a cure-all for fatigue, impotence, and even aging. So this guy.
Oh, I know this one.
Eben Byers. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah. Wait, is this the face?
Yeah.
Good.
So he was a wealthy industrialist. Eben Byers drank dozens of bottles a week until his bones began to rot and his jaw literally disintegrated. And then his death triggered public outrage and eventually pushed the government to regulate radioactive products. But for a while, glowing water was the picture of good health. Okay. This is a trigger warning because
do they have the picture of him?
Yeah. This is super creepy.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what it did to him. But this was something that was like
crazy?
The doctors would like prescribe this to people.
Yeah.
And people would.
He did it in excess.
What?
Though. He did. In excess.
He did. There also were the radium girls. They worked at a watch factory, and their job was to paint teeny tiny little paintbrushes. They would paint the ends of the watch hands because the radium would make them like glow in the dark, the watch hands, so you could tell what time it is anytime, of the night. So the paintbrushes were so small that they had to like lick it to make it small enough.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And so all of these women in these factories died very similar to what happened to him.
Oh my God.
Their jaws would just deteriorate. They would get bone cancer, whatever. And actually, they ended up suing the government and the factories and won and totally changed, workforce safety and things like that. There's them. There also is a Netflix series on them. But it was like, it was like asbestos. They just thought it was so great and they would use it in every single way possible because they thought it was like the greatest thing to ever be invented. And I think that is such a good lesson for us to think about all the time, because there's so many things throughout history that we thought was like the bee's knees. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is the greatest thing ever. And then years and years later, we learn that it was actually catastrophic. AI comes to mind.
Wow.
Sure. It's great.
It's still buried in a lead coffin.
What? Heisenberg?
He's buried in a lead coffin, I believe.
These girls, because radium has like a half-life of like 1600 years. So
holy crap.
They will be dangerous forever.
Jesus.
There's also a Netflix series on the radium girls too.
I'll have to check that one out. That's crazy.
It's very crazy. And these girls were like, when they started getting sick and stuff, the company was like trying to make them look amazing. And so they would like write newspaper articles about the radium girls and how they glow in the dark. And you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Meanwhile, they were literally killing these girls.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. It's just wild stuff. And it's just a lesson. They say history repeats itself. It's just a different item all the time. It's a different thing that people get obsessed with and think, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. And then they find out that it's not. Yes.
Yeah. It's always like wondering what's the next thing, right?
Yeah.
What am I taking that's going to make my job fall?
Right. That everybody's saying is great. I definitely think AI is right up there with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be medical things. It can be other things too, but
yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the drugs that we consider addictive, like recreational drugs, and people have huge problems with them. They were prescribed by your doctor back then. And I mean, cocaine. I know German soldiers were all given like methamphetamines.
They weren't given to them from medically. They were
I know.
Make them zombie soldiers.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
But
they used to give kids heroin.
Heroin, cocaine. I mean, all of it. It's just, it's crazy. But I guess you got to learn somehow, right?
Right.
We think something like radium, though, would be like on the list of not to touch things. But whatever.
I didn't know then.
Something that makes you glow is probably not great.
Probably not, but hey.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably like these star people that probably said, hey, it's okay if you glow.
No, starseeds would never say that.
It's going to be all right, guys. This is okay. This is normal.
No, they would say
it's going to be okay.
Starseeds are here to tell us that all of that stuff is not good and you're going to destroy your planet.
Right.
Continue to do it. So that's good stuff. That's weird.
Reading off my paper. Yeah, there's so much more. If you ever want to go down a rabbit hole and like be just completely disgusted with humanity, look up some old-timey medicine things. Did I ever tell you about when my kids are
what did you do to your kid?
My kids are such jerks sometimes. Like years ago, Everett was probably like 10 years old, and he goes, he was like, when were you born? And I was like 1983, and he was like, back in 1983, in my day, we used leeches to treat infections.
Little jackass.
It was not that long.
Right. But he's not wrong.
Right.
I was so afraid of leeches due to standby.
Yes, exactly, dude. Yep. I'm like, nope. I'm never going in a river again.
I had never seen one, never had one on me, but scared to death that I was going to get one.
I mean, we lived right by the Cuyahoga River, and we would go like literally.
I lived by the Portage River. Yeah,
2 blocks away.
There was places we knew that there was beaches.
And there was like not.
We didn't go swimming in there. That's the thing.
Unless we were like hanging around and partying out by the reclaimed gravel pit lakes, which we weren't supposed to be at.
Yeah.
We'd go and hang out at the river. We'd like tubing, we'd swim, we'd fish, all kinds of shit. And then I saw that show and I'm like, okay, I'm afraid of leeches now. I did not go back in. But then I get bit by a crayfish. So then again, I'm like not had the crayfish on my toe, like attached to it. Like, I can't do that. Nope, I'm done.
Yeah, they're very dangerous.
Yeah,
those
watch
crayfish.
Out. Killer crayfish. Netflix series on that too.
Right. I mean, my dad fell in the river and got a horrible infection. Almost was close to going gangrenous. So it's pretty gross.
That's gross.
No, man, that stuff's nasty. I used to swim in a canal up there in the lake, like Nugent's Canal, where they park boats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about the gas and oil.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's gross.
And nastiness.
All the runoff, yeah.
And the huge ass water snakes that were in there, but we didn't care.
No, we didn't know better. We were bored. Nothing else to do.
I even saw one come at me. You know, they make their mouth all big to make it look like all big and stuff.
That's scary.
That's why that makes me think that the Lake Erie monster is a snake, because those fuckers are big.
Yeah.
And those are just ones in the canal.
Right. That is a very viable thing, said Rochelle. Rochelle says, when my mom was little, the doctor came to the house and laid her on the kitchen table and cut her tonsils out. Holy crap.
Oh my God.
Dude, I don't know if that was a doctor. I'm a little bit afraid what happened to your mom.
Well, I mean, I know that like doctors used to do home visits a lot.
With taking your tonsils out on the kitchen table?
It's just, a little snip. That's all you need to do. A little alcohol.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's some pretty crazy stuff.
Well, it's back to when malpractice wasn't a thing.
Yeah, right.
It was just it happens.
People just blindly followed the doctor. The doctor's like, here, try this cocaine for your cold. Right. And they're like, okay.
It's not like Rochelle's that much older than us. It's not like she lived in like the 1800s and she's talking about her mom at the table. This is like probably like what, 1950s maybe?
I bet Rochelle.
60s?
Yeah, Rochelle should fear doctors for definitely.
You have to think too. I mean, I was born in 1983. And my mom smoked in the hospital room. The only rule was you weren't allowed to smoke while you were holding the baby. Other than that, fair game.
Doctors were smoking.
Well, shit, I don't think they cared about that when I was born.
Yeah, right.
You could smoke while you're holding the baby. You could smoke while you're having it.
It was in 1930, so I mean, a little bit earlier on than 1950.
Yeah, but I could still. They're not coming. That's freak you out. I would be afraid of doctors too. If somebody comes to my house, throw me on the dining room table, rip my tonsils out. I hope they gave some ice cream. Right. Was there some ice cream, Michelle?
I don't know. This wasn't at my home, but my third surgery, and you would think that this was a little archaic for the time because it was like 1994. I had muscle imbalance, which is basically a level. It's like my third lazy eye correction. And normally they had me out for the whole thing, like when I was 2, and then I had it again when I was 8, and then I had it again when I was 15. When I was 15, they did this crazy thing. The surgery was just the snip behind when I was completely out. They snip your muscle and retie it behind your eye.
Wow.
And usually they tighten it and position it while you're out. Not this time. I went to the surgery. I thought I was just going to get my patch off my eye and the bandages off. And she was just going to check it and make sure everything was cool. I was sadly mistaken. I sat in the chair. No kind of painkiller or anything. Their sutures were literally hanging out of my eyeball, like from behind my eye.
I would have been punching. They would have had.
And she starts taking these little hand tools and starts tugging on them and straightening my eye while I was awake with nothing but like numbing drops. That did not help.
I'm not gonna.
My mom had to leave. She almost puked and was freaking out. My dad obviously was like, "Holy shit, that's weird." just watching it. Like, wow,
Oh my gosh.
that looked like it hurts. Like, yeah, I mean, and this was the third surgery in the 90s. I thought for sure.
Right.
Like, my brother went to the Cleveland Clinic, got his done. He got both eyes done, in and out. Like, no problem. Like, seriously, like, what is going on?
Where did they take you? Shaler'sville?
No, it was Kent. It was actually the Northeast Ohio's eye surgeons, which is a pretty reputable place, at least back then. I mean, maybe not with those
you would
practices,
think.
but yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I mean, Rochelle's getting her mom's getting like
Yeah,
on the dining room table getting her tonsils out. You're getting your
which
eye
is like to
tugged.
this day why I freak out if anything is near touching my eye.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I wear
can't-
glasses. I could never wear contacts. You have to
Yeah.
touch
I
your
can do
eye.
the contact things no problem now. Like that doesn't even bother me. Like I
No.
could just go right now and like put
I
my
can't
finger
do
in
it.
my
Yes.
eye and not even.
I
really
tried.
pop.
I
Like,
tried so hard. And of course, the one time I tried, I got the rigid gas permeables, which are the little, real small ones, but they're hard.
No.
And one freaking broke, and like a little chunk like cut the bottom
Okay.
of my eye.
I'm definitely not.
Just like-
There's a list of things that I cannot handle, and eyes
my eye.
and eye juice, the juice behind your eyes,
Yeah,
gross. I can't.
right.
yeah, see, I could deal with that. Like I could get mine on and off. Like, ooh.
Nope.
Disgusting, but oh well. I'm not doing it again because it's if it happens again, and I know I still have lazy eye because especially when I get tired, I could see it kind of like going its own separate way.
Yeah.
But it's just completely
Not getting another
eye-
surgery. That's for sure.
No, my eyesight is the way it is. At this point, they told me even if it does happen, it's cosmetic. Your eyesight's getting worse with your age anyway, so there's really no worry about it.
What's up,
Hey,
Paul?
Paul, what's up, buddy? But yeah, I'm not doing that again.
On that note, sleep tight, crypto heads.
Yeah, right. As per usual. But I do want to say something. Dennis, our buddy Dennis, one of our favorite people. Good friends with Jennifer Bradford. We talked about her passing last week on the show. He just gave us a thank you. I don't know if he's still watching, but I wanted to make sure I read it. He says, "Thank you guys for the shout out to Jen Bradford, and tomorrow is going to be her calling hours, and Saturday she will be laid to rest. May she always be with us, with all of us, the rest of our days. She loves all of you. She will always be with us, and always remember her at the cons, the Kimmel cons. First day I met her, I remember we're like filming at a ghost hunt with her. But yeah, she's super. It was hard to pill to swallow. There's been a few that we've lost in the paranormal community that way, where just you talk to them one day and the next day something happens and they're no longer with us. But luckily, because we are into the afterlife, we know there's more to it than just these meat bags that we have. So
Yeah.
her spirit and her energy and her love and everything is still with us. And Dennis, we love you, buddy, and our hearts with you tomorrow. But yeah, and then he said, "Best show number 1." Thank you. I'm glad somebody out there in our tens of fans
That's
thinks
right.
so. Yeah, thanks, buddy. And our hearts are going to be with you and her family and all her friends tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Paul said nothing much going on. I find that hard to believe. I feel like Paul's always on the move, going to some Bigfoot or paranormal convention. He's a go-getter. Dennis said, "Going to bed. Busy day tomorrow. Love you guys. Love you too, buddy." But speaking of going to bed and being a busy day tomorrow,
Easton's going to bed. He's trying to come down and say goodnight to me.
Peace. So yeah,
I'm with you, Easton.
Right?
Me too.
I'm with you,
I'm
man.
gonna hop off here as quick as possible. Yeah. So real quick before we sign off, Haunted Theater tour tomorrow at the Kent Stage. Doors open at 7. 7. And yeah, you'll see us, hear our stories. We're gonna get to check out the whole building, do a little bit of ghost hunting stuff. It'll be a good time. Excuse me, horrible timing on that, but yeah, it'll be a good time, and I'm super excited about it. It's not.
That's why we're never gonna break that 11th fan. Right,
because I have a
right?
hiccup in the middle of the sign off. Yeah,
You can't control it on air.
yeah, I know.
We're never gonna break that final jump to the 11th.
I know, man. We were
fan.
so close. We're at 8 right now, dude. Just three
Yeah,
more. Three
that
more.
second dozen is going to be rough.
Oh, Paul said he's going to a UFO convention. Sweet, dude.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome. All right, guys. Haunted Theater tour at Kent Stage tomorrow. guys have a great weekend, and we will spook you later.
And don't be an asshole.
Like,
Don't be an asshole. Do what she said.
Yeah.